Dee dee dee. All right. All right, we've arrived at Vira's place over in Founder's Point. Now, this is one of the, it's a coastal spot. Nice. I like the coastal spots, especially the ones that aren't like in the spooky areas. I think I've talked about this a number of times before. It's just more bright and inviting, although it just doesn't have that whole really vivid tropical look that the horde areas have. But that said, that's just preference. You know? This is still like really cool. So let's take a look first at the octagon. Not an octagon, more like a squared circle, but this is dope. A place to fight and practice and train. And ooh, Mont Garra. Okay, this isn't a training area. This is the octagon where sometimes it's sometimes only one person leaves. Oh man, that's brutal. Okay, I don't want to stay in here for that long. Yeah, we have our flight point to make a quick getaway in case things aren't working out so great, or if there are injuries on the field and you gotta like take them over to get healed, and hopefully it'll happen, which is kind of questionable because if you're injured heavily and you're being plucked up by a griffin, there's no telling what other injuries you might sustain. I'm overthinking this, but it's just kind of exciting to see. Like, I haven't seen like a PvP related thing going on with housing yet. I mean, not outdoors at least. I think the other day we were looking at like a wrestling ring, which was amazing, right? But this is more like a very Warcrafty thing that we're seeing in this case. So I kind of missed the gazebo that's overlooking what I think is a really cool view. I do like the colors here. The colors work out like really well. Like the slight haze, it's fine, nothing to be mad about. But these paths, lots of paths being laid down, that kind of starts eating to the budget. You know what I mean? But it's also kind of, even though people are dying here, even if it might be a routine thing going on, it's still a bit of a festive place. People can gather around, talk shop, get some food, hopefully not buy it because we're risking our lives here. At least like feed us for free. That's the least they could do. But cool vibe. And since we're surrounded, this place is like isolated. You got water pretty much all around you. So no matter what, you got a cool place to look. You have a good view, no matter where you're coming from. So I think we're ready to head on inside. Trees are huge too. Whew. All right. All right, so as soon as we get in, we get into this wide open space, and check it out. It's an inn. Hey, look at that. And this is a show. Sick. This is cool, dude. We got a cool setup. So here's like a easy start of a bar area, bar slash restaurant. A place to kind of prep for whatever it is you're going to be doing. I'm thinking back here is where we're going to see a pantry kind of area. Very cool. Prepping stuff. Sacks, aka pillows of things. Brews. And all of the fixins. Food safety regulations would not like... Actually, no. I take that back. It's elevated. That's smart. So some food safety practices are being utilized here. That's appreciated. Maybe not so much well, now we're getting nitpicky here. Let's move on. Oops, let me close this guy. And let's check out the show. I typically go left, so we're going to check out the inn first. This feels so uncharacteristic because of the way because of like, if you think of like it as font, it's like, oh, this looks nothing like Warcraft. But I'm amused. very amused by this. All right, so we're going into going into these rooms, but first I'm gonna guess: is this the bathroom? No, it's not a bathroom. It is a place to sleep. Maybe. Now this looks a bit more personalized, but it could be like more like a full-on hotel room, and someone's been staying here for a while. Sometimes, hey, sometimes you want to get a room for a few weeks or a month because you got stuff to do. You got business in town. You're gonna be here for a while. All right, toilet check. Now check out the plumbing on this thing. I don't know if it is plumbing, but I'm just gonna pretend it is. Check out the plumbing on this guy. Huge chain. I think this almost feels like one of those kinds of bathrooms where like these should be like grills and whatnot, where all the water just drains everywhere. It's an old pull chain toilet. Oh, there we go. But no seat check. So what do? We stand on this toilet. Yes, we do. We mostly stand on this toilet. Excellent. You know what we haven't seen yet? We haven't seen anyone make a urinal. We haven't seen anyone make a successful urinal. So for example, sorry, we took this. If this didn't have like the scrubby scrubs, you could just take this, put it against the wall, maybe obscure some stuff, and then boom, urinal. Bam. But we don't do that because that's very, you gotta have it for both the guys and the ladies too, I guess. So you might as well just have a normal toilet. Let's see what secrets are going on behind here. Oh, twist. So what happens after you get dueled? We're not done with you yet. They're gonna drag you inside the place, and they're either gonna torture you until you're dead, or they're gonna preserve you, and then torture you until you're dead, and then they'll put you back in here so you can heal up, and then do it all over again until you're dead. Nice. Not so nice, but a good start for it. This is like the beginner's torture room, where they're like, yo, let me put stuff together. And then you start off and you just bring it into like the corner of your house, right? But then after a while, that's when things start to clutter up, and this whole room will start to like morph into like, the kind of dungeony vibe that you would expect to see. But this is like the early starts. This is the beginner's villain sort of secret room. That's the story I'm going to be telling myself. So at first I thought this was like the alchemy table that just had like a whole bunch of stuff on it, but no, this is all placed down instead. That's cool. I'm not familiar with this right here either. Like, that's a cool touch. I could use that in a cafe. So that's the room, but what's in this room? It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. Because I want to tell myself, oh, is this like a wanted poster of sorts? Ooh. Okay, this is a different vibe. Check this out. So it's very arcane-y, very like very elven. We say hello to Ilaria, elven shelves, elven bed. I'm trying to just lamppost, sure. I'm not super familiar with this either. That's kind of that's a cool little object right there. And we have our outdoor look with which to peep at other potential targets, with which to capture and throw into our torture room. So in this case, they didn't just take a window. They just made their own. They made their own grill. That's cool, because it has that. Because in this case, it can have that more open sort of feel to it. Someone say like, "Oh, these things are like super thick." Oh, whatever. It's all good. This is what we got to work with, and I think this works out pretty good. Yeah, well lit. Do we have a second bathroom? We have a second loo. Check it. Double. Same difference, but we do have it. So while it's an inn, this is like, okay, these are two different tenants who have different intentions. This person didn't really have any no plans to like torture or kill anyone or anything like that. And why is this clickable? Oh, it's a bench. Ish. Yes, this is a bench. I'm not familiar with this bench, actually. Cool. All right. So we've done our tour of the inn. Let's see what's going on in this show area. Shall we? So here, what do we have? Oh, this is cool. It's like a small theater. We sit, we watch, and dude, this needs to like have like light up like fiery stuff, you know, and a giant pole. That could work too. So a small intimate stage for, you know, for like one-man shows, small plays, presentations, that sort of stuff. Not a bad use of what is a small octagon room. I believe it's a small octagon room. Yeah, it's not very big. But yeah, cool stage setup. You know, in this case, like they took like they didn't take large platforms and throw them down. They just they just took smaller platforms, pieced them together. But then in this case, the upper platforms, they are kind of clipping together. You can kind of see as we pan the camera a little bit to the side. But there's got to be a backstage, right? Let's see what's going on back here. We got very little going on backstage. You get no snacks, you get no green room, you just kind of sit and wait, you know, something mom spaghetti, it's like, no, come out, you're up. All right, let's go. You know? And then you do your bit. That's cool, dude. That's cool. All right. Can I go in from here too? Okay, so it is meant to be here for the person to like climb up and go in from backstage, and then once they come out, boom, all the lights hit you. And then that's all that's missing. Just like a whole bunch of lights on the person to make things nice and awkward. Nice and awkward. It'll be cool one day if we get to like dim the lights and then we get to see like, you know, it's going to be like super dark, but then you have the lights illuminating the person on stage. That's going to be a cool effect once we get access to those tools. It'd be used for a TED Talk. Yeah, there we go. So this is a great start to having, you know, this this cool social area. You walk in. Let's just have, you know, eventually we'll just have to like fill out with stuff, and then, you know, a place for folks to sit and rest, a place to enjoy a show. Cool, cool place, dude. Now, of course, people might die outside. That's a small detail, though, right? It's Warcraft. You know, that's just a part of life around here. All right, 28. That's where we're going. I've tried a number of times to pull off the outdoor window, and I've never been happy with it. I'm never happy with what I make, but then I'll look at what other people make. I'll be like, dude, that looks so good. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just being too critical of myself, but maybe I just like looking at other people's places more than I like looking at my own. Oh well. It's like, how